Hello, class. I'm here. You thought I wasn't here today, but I figured something out in the computer, and we're going to have a land judging description here, thingamabobber. I hope Jasmine's in class today and she didn't decide to skip just because I was gone. Our goals today in class are going to be, and there's got to be an easier way than this, but I haven't figured it out yet because I've seen some other YouTube ones that have done this, so bear with me, Ben, but we're going to try to identify a few objectives. The first objective is going to be, you can almost read it, get over, here we go, it's the opposite way, get over it, there we got it. We're going to practice a land judging problem. And that wasn't it. There's our objectives. We're going to identify the parts of a land judging scorecard and identify the different categories of part 1 of the scorecard. What you're going to need for this is this wonderful little sheet of paper here. This sheet of paper was given yesterday and we called it the cheat sheet. On this cheat sheet, here it comes, we're zooming in. Don't freak out here, Laura. Don't freak out. It's getting closer. There. No. There. We did this part. There's Nathan. There. We did this part. No, I'm moving it. We did this part yesterday. The fertilizer. We're going to do the same thing today where you're going to identify the different components. But instead of fertilizer, you're going to come up here and you're going to do depth of soil. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. It's over here. We're going to do depth of soil, surface texture, permeability, slope, thickness of surface, and erosion. So if you thought you were going to get away from my voice, surprise! You get it again. So, in the website for the class, you should have done your daily work today, and then you were able to come here and see that there is a new PowerPoint. It's called Awesome Soil Judging PowerPoint, and it's a Google Slides you can download right off the course documents. It'll pop up here with these different objectives. Your goal today is going to be able to figure out how we can categorize our soil's factors for part 1 on the cheat sheet. First thing we're going to look at, it's depth of soil. So you can follow right along with your computer, so then that when it's blurry and Trent can't see it because it's so small, you can look on it on your computer also. Here is your depth of soil. It's the first one. So soil factors part 1 on this little sheet of paper. It's this little guy right there. Deep to very deep, all the way down to very shallow. What we're hitting is where we get before we hit a rock layer. So the depth of soil before it hits something that's impermeable. That impermeable layer is called the rock layer, or what we would call the sea layer when you were talking about soil horizons. To be deep to very deep, it has to be above 40 inches. I like what Alex was doing right over there because he already has done this in the natural resource class. On this cheat sheet, he wrote in 40 inches and above by the deep to very deep. Next is moderately deep. Moderately deep is 20 to 40 inches. Shallow is 10 to 20 inches. And very shallow is 0 to 10 inches before you hit a rock layer. The deeper the better, because that allows your soil, your roots to go down farther. The shallower the worse, because then your roots can't go down as far because they hit that rock layer. This is the deep to very deep section. You're going to see in each one of these little slides a little red circle. This little red circle right here, that little red circle, this is my hand, this is in the circle. This little red circle right here, this is your, oh, I don't know what he's talking about, guess. Most of Nebraska's soils are going to be deep to very deep. We're going to be doing different scorecards, and I'm going to be taking you places where you have to fill these in. And when you do that, if you don't know what you're doing, here on your cheat sheet, circle number 1, because your best guess is going to be that it's deep to very deep. The next one's going to have another red circle, and that's your best guess for Nebraska soils. We're going to move on. If you need a pause, pause. But if not, let's roll. Next one is surface texture. This is what I think the plant and soil science class should be better at, but we need to do some more practicing, which we will. Your surface texture. Your guess right off the bat should be moderately fine. Most of Nebraska's, eastern Nebraskans and northeastern Nebraska soils are moderately fine. You need to texturize them to get the correct answer, but if you're just going to guess moderately fine. Where you're going to find this is in a bucket called surface or topsoil, and you're going to have to ribbon that texture. This is a review. Above 3 inches is fine. 1 to 3 inches is moderately fine. Medium is 0 to 1 inch. Moderately coarse is 0 to 1 inch with a gritty sand. And to get coarse, it should be my PowerPoint's wrong there. That should be 0, no ribbon. My bad. So that right there should say no ribbon, and it's going to come closer. No ribbon. This right here should say no ribbon. Coarse, very coarse would be no ribbon, and if you have gravel, it's definitely going to be in there. But these are your categories for soil, fine soil. I kind of like what Jacob's doing over there, where he's writing down right here, above 3 inches. Then over here, he's writing down 1 to 3 inches, 0 to 1 inch, 0 to 1 inch for medium, and then 0 to 1 inch with sand for moderately coarse, and no ribbon for coarse. Again, pause it if you don't have it. If you got it, roll on. Next is permeability. Permeability, you're going to do the same thing you did for texture, but instead of doing the whole, what is that called, riveting, and just having fine, this is going to tell you your permeability. Like way up here with the very slow, that's going to say that this soil has a lot of clay in it. Very rapid would be a lot of sand. You're going to find this in the bucket that says control. So permeability is how fast water runs through it. To be very slow, it has to be over 3 inches. So we're talking nothing but clay. Sorry, I bumped the table. They'll deal with it. The next one is slow, and that's going to be a 2 to 5 inches. So 2 to 5 inches. So it kind of separates up the moderately fine. It's kind of a fine soil, but it's not as fine as this one. This is tough stuff right here. I know it. Natasha, I know that you probably are like, well, in the last slide, fine soil was over 3 inches, moderately fine was 1 to 3. In permeability, they break it up a little bit because there's a little more silt in the slow one to make the ribbon not be over 3 inches and be very slow. It's in between. Then moderately slow is 1 to 2 inches, so here you'd put 1 to 2 inches. Moderate is under 1 inch. Moderately rapid is under 1 inch with some sand. Rapid is no ribbon, so it's just a bunch of sand. And then very rapid is no ribbon with gravel. This was permeability. Let's roll on, because we're already at 8 minutes. Yeah, it's going fast because you love my voice. Here's slope. Slope is new. We went outside, but we didn't. It's not new, I guess. We kind of covered it, but we went slow over it, or we went fast over it. Rise over run. To be nearly level, it's 0 to 2%. To be in the gently sloping category, it is 2 to 6%. To be in the moderately sloping category, it's 6 to 11. To be in the strongly sloping category, it's 11 to 17. Steep, I can't say it. Steep is 17 to 30. Very steep is 30 and above. This would be your slope categories. Pause it if you need to. Roll on if you don't. And you would write those right here on your cheat sheet to help you out. Thickness of surface. Thick soil needs to be over 12 inches. Moderately thick soil needs to be in that 6 to 12 inches. 6 to 12 right there. Thin is 0 to 6 inches. And this is what you're doing is measuring that top layer, that darker layer. Rolling on, erosion. Here's new stuff. It's going to blow your mind because it takes some math. Erosion is the wearing away of soil. None to slight is 0 to 25% of your soil is still there. Moderate is 25 to 75% of your soil is still there. Severe is 75% and above. No, I said that wrong. Moderate means 25 to 75% of your soil is gone. Severe means 75% of your soil is gone or above, and very severe is 75% of your soil is gone, plus there's some gullies. And a gully is a eroded land with exposed sides. So that says sides down there. Lift up a little. There's the word sides. That right there says sides. How you find this is you take your original, which will be given to you, minus the current, divided by the original. This is going to make a little more sense from, I think, Alex, Jacob, and Laura. I'm going to put you into this one here, and maybe you can pause it and explain how to do this a little bit, because I can't write on the screen. It would be kind of cool if I can, and I know some smart people probably could show me how, but I can't do it right now. So somebody needs to show them how you take the original, which would be given, and that's right here. The given information, original soil or topsoil thickness was, so let's say if it was 20, you'd put 20 here minus the current, which you found here. So let's say if you found it to be moderately thick, so it was 6 to 12, so it'd be like 10 inches. You would then put 10 inches here. 20 minus 10 divided by the original, which was 20, would give you 50%, which is in between the moderate. Rewind that, or I guess if you'd use rap turns, take that, rewind it back, and then you can replay it again to get that explanation. Your original will be given to you here on your scorecard. I said 20 inches. You then go find, in your one before this, you would find what the texture or the depth is of your topsoil, minus that, divided by the original. So 20 minus 10 divided by 20 is 50%. Moderate. Stop and think for a little minute. 1 billion people in the world go hungry to bed. Not because they didn't stop at McDonald's, but because they go hungry. 28,000 people die from improper diet. In 2040, we're supposed to have doubled the food to provide what we have now for the population. I don't think we can do it on just 6 to 12 inches of topsoil. So if we have a moderately thick topsoil, how are we going to meet food for all these people? We need ideas from people like Christian and people like Julian to come up with ideas of how can we be more efficient with the food that we have, because we won't have enough food to feed these people in 2040, because there's now going to be 2 billion people. Sad. Alright, let's keep rolling. Land capability charts. You thought we were done. Here comes the confusing part, and I'm going to make another video for it. So, this video is now stopping, and we're going to start with land capability charts on video number 2.